Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class, which is a recording of the class given by Srila Prabhupada himself in Vrindavan, April 18th, 1975. It's Canto 1, Chapter 7, Text 6. And I would request that you kick up the volumes of your listening devices so you can hear. Sometimes the recordings are a little low on the volume. Okay, so without further ado, we'll start right now.
Anarthopasamam saksad bhakti yogam adhokkaji lokasya ajanataha vidyang chakri sattat samhita. Vidwan, vid means Vetti Veda Vida Gyan. Vid means Gyan, knowledge. So, one who has knowledge, knowledge means ultimately to understand the original source of everything. Janmadasya jataha. This is knowledge. To everyone is, the scientists, the philosophers, everyone is searching out what is the original cause. Just like modern scientists, they are searching out what is the original cause of life. That is good inquiry. But because they are surrounded by anarthas, they cannot know it. That is called Maya. So long one is illusioned by the Maya, he cannot have perfect knowledge. This subject matter has been discussed to the previous verse. It is said, Jayasana Mohito Jiva. Before that, the one verse says that Vyasdev, the Vidwan, Vyasdev is addressed here as Vidwan, full knowledge. So, he was unhappy even after compiling Vedanta Sutra. he was not very happy. So, under the instruction of his guru, Narad Muni, he wanted to compile the last contribution to the human society, a commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, that is Srimad Bhagavata. Bhāsayam Brahma Sutrānam Vedatha Prabhinhitam. This, in every chapter at the end, it is said, Brahma Sutra Bhāsya, the Bhagavad Gita is the commentary on the Brahma Sutra or Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta means the ultimate knowledge. Veda means knowledge. Anta means the last contribution. So, under the instruction of Narad Muni, Vasudev, first of all, made his life perfect. Yes. How he made his life perfect? Because if you write books without any perfection, that will not be effective. One has to become perfect before he writes some books. Just like nowadays, especially in the Western countries, they write any rascal ideas under the name of philosophy or science. Perhaps it may be. That is not the system in the Vedic civilization. Vedic civilization, people, those who are advanced in Vedic knowledge, they would write. Vedic knowledge is called Shruti, and if you write following the principles of Shruti, then it is Smriti. Shruti Smriti, Puranadi, Pancharatriki, Vidhing Vina, Vaikantiki, Harer Bhakti, Utpataya Vakalpati. That is the advice and instruction given by Rupa Goswami. Without reference to the Shruti, without reference to the Smriti, Puran and Pancharatriki Vidhi, if you pose yourself as a great devotee of Krishna, that is simply disturbance. This is the instruction of Rupa Goswami, the what is called development, the developer of this Vrindavan, developed, under whose instruction. So, when Narada instructed that you write something which will help people to understand the Supreme, then he engaged himself in bhakti yoga, because you cannot understand the Supreme Truth without engaging yourself in devotion and service. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Only through devotion, submission, surrender, you can understand Krishna. Not by your so-called scholarship or research work. No. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Krishna never said, by cultivating knowledge, speculative knowledge, one can understand me. No. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. So therefore, Vasudev engaged himself in bhakti yoga to understand the supreme truth. That is stated, bhakti yogena manasi sammak pranihite amale apasat purusham purnam maya cha tad apasraya. So he visioned two things. That one, purusham, apasat purusham purnam. Purusha, perfect, Purnam, complete. We are trying to become Purusha or Bhagavan, but we are not perfect. And Bhagavan means Purnam, Saraisajya Purnam, complete. So we cannot accept anyone as Bhagavan unless he is Purnam, Saraisajya Purnam, that is Krishna. Saraisajya Purna Bhagavan Jaya. So, by Bhakti Yogena, by practicing, that is called meditation. Meditation means to find out the supreme complete person. That is called meditation. Not that anything you meditate, any nonsense. No, that is not meditation. Meditation is described Dhyanavasthita. Dhyanavasthita. Engaged in meditation. Tadgatang manasa. Pasyantijam yogin. Yogis, they by meditation tries to find out the supreme person who is within everyone. Ishara sarvabhutanam riddesya arjuna tishtati. So, by meditation to find out the supreme Paramatma within yourself, that is called yoga practice. Dhyanavasthita tadagatina manasa pasantijam yogina. This is yogi. So that yoga is perfect when you see Krishna. That is also stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Yoginam api sarvesham madgata antaratmana sadhyavan bhajati jumang same juktato. One who is trying to find out Krishna within himself. Krishna is there. So you have to be qualified to see him. That is required. That is called Bhakti Yoga. In Brahma Samhita it is said, Premanyana churita bhakti vilochanena santas sadaiva hridayesu vilokayanti. That is not possible simply by gymnastics. One has to develop transcendental love for Krishna. Premanyana churita. When your eyes are anointed with love of God, then you can see Him within yourself 24 hours. Sadaiva, hridayeshu vilokaya. That is not difficult for understanding, because anyone you love, you always think of him, you always feel his presence, so why not of Krishna? That is not difficult. Therefore Krishna is teaching to develop this love for Krishna. He says, Manvana bhava mad bhakta madhyaji mang namaskuru. Simply you think of me, manmana, you become devotee of me, mad bhakta, worship me, madhyaji mang namaskuru. So we are expending so much money for installing Krishna Balaram here. What is this purpose? The purpose is that you will be able to see him present in this temple, and therefore you can think of me. That is very natural. If you see the deity always, then you get his picture impressed within your mind, and if you always think of him, then you see him within your manvana. That is not difficult. And this deity is not different from Krishna. For devotee, he is Krishna himself, identical. We are spending so much money, lakhs, not for worshipping a statue. That is not very intelligent. Sakshat Krishna. Therefore, the temple is sanctified, the process is going on to cleanse our mind, Cetadarpanamarjanam. In this way, when the mind is cleansed of all dirty things, then you can think of Krishna. That will be explained, anartha upasamam sasa. So, Vasudev, first of all, made his life perfect. How? Bhakti yogena, by practicing bhakti yoga. And bhakti yoga means manasa vacha karmana. Here it is said manasa. Manasa, that is very nice bhakti yoga, always thinking of Krishna. Sabai mana Krishna padara vindayo, as Ambarish Maharaj did. Always Ambarish Maharaj fixed up his mind at the lotus feet of Krishna. So here also Vasudev, bhakti yogena manasi, sammak pranihite, amale, when the mind was completely cleansed, then he saw. What he saw? Apasat. Apasat means he visioned, he saw. Purusham Purnam, the complete Supreme Personality of God. And Maya, he saw also Maya. Mayanta jad apasrayam, Maya on the backside. So, in this way, he made his life first of all perfect, then he wrote this Srimad Bhagavatam. After becoming perfect, therefore you will find in Srimad Bhagavatam, each word is transcendental. Each word is full of meaning and transcendental knowledge. Because the writer, the composer of this transcendental book is Vasudev, is perfect, Veda Vyasa, perfect in Vedic knowledge. So, there are mayas of different kind. Krishna's maya, parasa shakti vividaya, maya means potency. So, from the Vedic knowledge we can understand that Krishna has many types of potencies. Parasa shakti vividaiva sriyati. Sava, because he has to execute so many affairs, this material world, spiritual world, and just imagine, so big universe, there are innumerable universes, and each and every universe there are so many planets, so many different kinds of living entities, and he has to manage everything. Therefore he is called Parameshwar. Parameshwar means the supreme controller. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya chaham uridisannivishta. I am living in everyone's heart. Now imagine, there are innumerable universes, and each and every universe, there are innumerable planets, and in each and every planet there are innumerable towns and cities, and each and every town there are innumerable living entities, and Krishna has to manage all of them. That is Krishna. Matta smriti jnanam apohanancha. Krishna has to act in such a way that whatever we are doing, that is under the direction of Krishna. Krishna says, Matta smriti. Just like in the morning, you get up and immediately you understand that you are sleeping, now I am going to do so many things. Where from this memory comes? Krishna says, Matta, from me. So, just imagine how Krishna is busy. So this Maya, as described here, the apasat purusam purnam Maya, jad apasram. Maya means, its meaning that will be explained in the next part, which is controlling this material world, that Maya. Maya is jad apasram. Srimati Radharani is also Maya, Yoga Maya. And Durga is also Maya, expansion of Radharani. But Durga's business is different than Radharani's business. Durga's business is Jaya Sanmohita Jivam, to keep the living entities covered, not to become awakened to Krishna consciousness. That is Maya's duty. So Vyasdev saw this Maya, this Mahamaya, who is keeping the living entities under the cover of illusion. So it is said, this Maya, he saw the Supreme Person, and back of that Supreme Person he saw this Maya. Which Maya? Jaya Sanmohita Jiva. That Maya which is keeping the living entities in illusion. What is that illusion? That is also Jaya Sanmohita Jiva Atmanam Trigunatmakam. Triguna. Triguna means the Satagun, Rajagun, Tamagun. So, under the influence of Maya, we are identifying with the different gunas or qualities of this material world. So Satagun, yes, Satagun is the Brahminical qualification. So one is thinking that I am Brahmana. One is thinking, who is under the control of Rajagun, I am Kshatriya. Or in other words, this identification is all over the world. Now, you may not think I am Brahmana, but you may think I am American. Or I may think I am Indian. There is some sort of identification. And therefore, the whole world is full of anarthas, unnecessary. Unnecessary. I am not Brahmana, I am not Indian, you are not American, you are not Kshatriya. This is all false scientific identification. So this is the work of Maya. All the living entities, they are under certain impression that I am this, I am this. And this, I am that, they cannot make any solution. They have created the United Nations, but there is no solution. Because everyone is under the grip of the Maya, material energy. And they are simply creating problems. This is their business. Jaya Sanmahita Jiva Atmanam Trigunatmakam. Atmanam, and I am spirit soul, but I do not belong to these material qualities. Still I am thinking, Atmanam Trigunatmakam. One cannot go beyond these three gunas, Satagun, Rajagun, Tamagun, or mixed. 3 into 3 equal to 9, and again mixed 9 into 9 equals 81. Therefore, there are 8,400,000 species of living entities under the impression that I am this, I am plant, I am fish, I am mosquito, I am man, I am demigod, I am tiger, I am Indian, I am American. In this way, there are 8,400,000 of different types of identification. Therefore, we find so many forms of life. Atmanam Triyunatmakam Manati. Jayat, this is all the work of Maya to keep us under certain impression. And we work under certain impression and create another situation and we guess tata dehantara prapti. Now this life, if I create a situation like a dog, then I get the body of a dog. That's all. Or if I create a situation like the demigod, then I can go to the heavenly planets. But if I create a situation that I am eternal servant of Krishna, then you go to Krishna. This is what? This is Krishna consciousness. Create a situation. Don't create a situation that I am this, I am that. Simply create a situation that you completely understand that I have no other business than to advance in Krishna consciousness and my only duty is to serve Krishna. This is wanted. That is called anartha upasamam. Because we have created so many problems under the impression of different gunas. I am this, I am that. To become sannyasi, that is also another problem. Therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said that I am not a brahmana, I am not a sannyasi, I am not a brahmachari, I am not a grihastha, I am not a kshatriya, all not. I am not this, I am not this. My only identification is that I am eternal servant of Krishna. Gopi bhattu padakamalu, dasu dasanu das. This is required. So how this position you can attain, that is described in the next verse. Anartha upasamam saksha, bhakti jugam madhukhaji. This is the remedy. Anartha, these are all anarthas. So long I will think I am this, I am that, I am this, I am that. Or even if you think that I am big Goswami or big Brahmana, that is also anartha. That is also anartha. Actually, Goswami means who has control over the senses. Swami means the control over the senses. That is required. We have to control over the senses and identify ourselves that I do not belong to anything of this material infection, but I am eternally servant of Krishna. Jive Sarupa Nitya Krishna. This is called Sarupa Upalabdhi. This is called self-realization. This is called Mukti. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, the definition of Mukti has been given that Mukti hitya annatha rupam. Annatha rupam. I am identifying now myself as this and that. I am American, I am Indian, I am Brahmana, I am Goswami, I am this, that. No. This is all anarthas, unwanted. Therefore, hitya annatha rupam. We are living under the impression of something else. Hitta means when you give up this wrong impression. And sarupena avasthiti, when you are situated in your original position. That is called mukti. Mukti does not mean anything else. This is the definition of mukti. You keep yourself in your original position. So our original position is part and parcel of Krishna. We are part and parcel of the body of Krishna. The Brahmana is the mouth of Krishna, and the Kshatriyas are the arms of Krishna, the Vaishyas are the abdomen of Krishna, and the Shudras are the legs of Krishna. Mukhabahu rupadebha jagniri chattarvarna vipradaya gunat prithak. Nobody should be hated. Just like in your body, your leg is as important as your head, especially of Krishna. Krishna is Advaya again, absolute. We may make some difference, from head to leg. Leg is less important, head is no. But Krishna's any part is as important as other part. So you become the part of, you are already, but if you come to realize that you are part and parcel of Krishna, Krishna's body, so either you act as Krishna's leg or as Krishna's head, there is no difference. There is no difference. Here in the material world, we have misunderstood that because I am head, therefore I shall head the legs. Why? We first of all offer tulsi and flower to the legs of Krishna, not to the head. The bhakti yoga begins from the lotus feet of Krishna. So how you can say the legs of Krishna are inferior than the heads of Krishna? This is called anartha. So if we enter into the process of bhakti yoga, these anarthas will go out. Therefore, it is recommended here in the Srimad Bhagavatam that anartha upasamam saksha bhakti yogam adhokhaji. If you engage yourself in transcendental loving service of the adhokhaja, adhokhaja means the Supreme Person who is beyond your sense perception. That is called adhokhaja. So you have to engage yourself in the service of adhokhaja, bhakti yoga. Then this anartha, this misunderstanding that he is such and such, I am such and such, this will be finished. No more. That is called pandit. Pandita samadarshina, vidya vinaya sampanni, brahmani, gavi, hastini, suniti, sapat. When your anarthas will be finished and you will see every living entity as part and parcel of Krishna, that is called real Brahma realization. Part and parcel of Krishna, every one of us, so we shall not only engage ourselves as part and parcel of Krishna in his service, but also we shall try to engage others, because they are also part and parcel of Krishna. Why should we eliminate them? That is Vaishnavism, that is Krishna consciousness. And that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. And that mission is to be started from India. Bharat. Bharat bhumite manusya janma haila ja, janma sarthak kari karo karo. So, the Indians especially, they have got the opportunity to learn these Vedic Shastras and realize his self and introduce this Krishna consciousness throughout the whole world. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. And all acharyas, they do like that. That is the business of real acharya. So, bhakti yogam adhokhaje. So, this is very important thing because it is said, lokasya ajanata. These foolish men, they do not know that their problems can be solved only by this bhakti yoga, Krishna consciousness. They do not know it. Lokasya ajana. Therefore, Vidwan, Vyasdev is Vidwan. He is the first class Vidwan. Chakre Satata Sanghita. This Sanghita means Vedic literature for enlightening people. So, every Vaishnava's duty is that you make your life, first of all, perfect by understanding your real position and preach this cult. Because lokasya janata, all people throughout the whole world, they are ajanata. Ajanata, they do not know anything. They are although very proud, they think that having some material advancement of life That is perfection. No. Ajanata, murkha, mudha. That is not perfection. That is not perfection. Perfection is mukti, sarupe namasthiti. To be situated in his own original position. That can be done anywhere. Bhakti yoga can be practiced any part of the world as it is experienced practically. What is bhakti yoga? Sarvanam kirtanam Vishnu, smaranam padasevanam, archanam bandhanam dasyam, sakham atmunivedanam. Sarvanam. First business is servant. You can hear. Whom? Vishnu. Not nonsense talks. Vishnu. Krishna. You hear. So you can hear anywhere. There is no specific mention that it can be heard in such and such place. You can anywhere. But a holy place like Vrindavan, the hearing has got a special effect. So here we are establishing this mantra, and you foreigners, you have taken some interest. I am very much pleased. So constantly come here and hear about Krishna. This is the pastimeous place of Krishna, Vrindavan. So make your anarthas vanquished. Anartha upasamam sa. Everything we have done simply anartha, without any meaning. But if we say, people will criticize us that why you are utilizing motor car, why you are utilizing aeroplane. But our tactic is, we can utilize any so-called anartha in the service of Krishna. That is our tactics. That means you have created some anartha, but we can engage even this anartha in the service of Krishna and make it meaningful. That is our business. So it requires time, but at least things unnecessarily encumbered. We are encumbered with so many unnecessary things. So our so-called necessities of life will decrease. Anartha upasamam. Although we are riding on motor car, we don't think it is essential. But those who are captured by the civilization, they think it is essential. That is the difference. Anasaktasya vishaya. Our process is that if you have to preach, so you have to go to United States, so if there is aeroplane, why I shall waste my time? Let us accept this. So we don't duplicate the material advancement, but you simply warn that don't forget Krishna simply for the matter of material advance. This is Krishna consciousness. We don't discourage you. We don't discourage you, but when you have invented something material, utilize it for Krishna. Anasaktasya vishaya. Don't be attached to the motor car, but utilize it for going fast, for preaching work. That's all. This is required. This is Rupa Goswami's advice. Don't die for want of motor car. But if you get the opportunity to go faster than walking, you should utilize it. Nirbandhe Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagam Uchyate. This is required. That everything engaged in Krishna's service, that is called Yukta Vairagam. Not Phaulugu Vairagam. Rupa Goswami said, motor car is material, therefore we should not touch it. This is Phaulugu Vairagam. That is stated by Rupa Goswami that prapunchikataya buddhya hari sambandhi vastuna mumukshubhi parityaga Phaulugu Vairagya kathata. Prapunchikataya buddhya. Because it is material, advancement. I therefore, Brahma Sattva Jagan Mithya, this world is mithya, this any material is mithya. No. It has got some relationship with Krishna. That is to be seen. What is that? What is this motor car? It's material. But what is this material? Bhumi rapo analo vayu khangamano buddhiri vacha Asta Brindami Prakriti Astadha, where they have got this metal, this iron, wood, metal, everything, they've got from Krishna. Therefore it has got relationship with Krishna. Now when it is manufactured, use it for Krishna. That is Yukta Vairag. So do not hate anything, material advancement. We can utilize everything for Krishna's service. Our only preaching is that don't forget Krishna. That is our business. And if you have got a special talent, utilize it for Krishna. Idang nipungsas tapasas sutasava suttasya sishtasya chabuddha dattaya avichita artha kavibhi nirupita jaduttama sloka gunanuvarnana. Now, if somebody criticizes you that why you are using this material, we don't say anything material. As soon as this manufactured instrument, there is also Krishna's energy. We have to see to it that it is Krishna's energy, it is made from Krishna's energy, and it should be utilized for Krishna. This sense required, this sense is called Krishna consciousness. So if you take to Bhakti Yoga Madakhaje, the anartha, things which are not wanted, anartha or problems, the problems of the world will be mitigated. Anartha vasamam sakshat bhakti yogam madakhaje. People do not know it. Lokasya ajana. Therefore we have to teach them. That is Krishna consciousness movement. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Another very powerful lecture by Srila Prabhupada. So many points to discuss, so many points to contemplate, to improve our lives. And so, dear devotees, I ask you to unmute, make comments, takeaways, ask questions as you like. Hare Krishna. Jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
That pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
Yes, whenever Srila Prabhupada speaks, such a wonderful, it's like all the Vedas are, pouring down Vedic knowledge. I like the point, yes, Prabhu. I like the point Srila Prabhupada clearly made the difference between Yukta Vairagya and Falgu Vairagya. Like Yukta Vairagya is utilize whatever it is there in Krishna's service. Don't see the fault in it, as long as you can able to utilize in Krishna's service. Falgu Vairagya is like something material. I'm not gonna use it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Srila Prabhupada mentions, that lokasya ajanataha. That's a good eye-opening thing, to motivate, because people don't know. So when you go out and preach, they will come to know. Yeah, that's one point. Yeah.
Yes, very important. Very, 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 very important. People are the more you hear Srila Prabhupada, the more obvious it becomes how little the overall population of this world knows about this world and what to really do. So thank you for your comments and your takeaways.
I have two more points. And Srila Prabhupada stresses on what is a mukti. Swarupyana Vyavasthiti. When we realize our Swarup and we act accordingly, that is a mukti. When we align our conscious in our eternal Swarup, that is a mukti. I like that point. And another point, while speaking on the Yukta Vairagya, Srila Prabhupada mentions Anasakta Vishayat. Means you utilize all these, material things, but be anasakta. Don't be asakt in this material thing. That's another point Srila Prabhupada stresses on.
Yeah, important to utilize the material things because it says it's Krishna's energy, but don't use it for ourselves. Use it to serve Krishna.
Right.
He came in a boat, Jaladuta. It took him months from India to come to the United States. But later on, he was flying from one place to another with
Right.
an aircraft. Yeah, it's material, but it's just energy. Mhm. So if you can get to someplace faster with Krishna's energy, absolutely. It's material energy. Don't be attached to it, but use it to serve Krishna. And that was the point
Right.
he was making. Hare Krishna. Thank you
Fo-
very
yeah,
much.
fo- yeah, focus is Krishna consciousness, not the
Yes.
other arrangement.
Mm. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Any other comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept
Hare
my humble
Krishna.
obeisances or grace to
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
In the beginning, Srila Prabhupada said, knowledge means Krishna is the cause of all causes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking that is actually Krishna consciousness in a nutshell, because once we understand that, then we can practice Bhakti Yoga.
Mm-hmm.
And towards the middle of his class, he first said, when Vyasadeva became perfect, he wrote
Mm-hmm.
Srimad Bhagavatam. So I was a little confused that Vyasadeva is incarnation of Krishna. How can he not be perfect? But then later on, Prabhupada said Vyasadeva is perfect. So that cleared my doubt. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. But sometimes you also have to remember that Yogamaya's action is always there, and Yogamaya can act on pure devotees. And so, yes, you made a good argument first that how come Vyasadeva not be perfect? But sometimes what these pure devotees do, they do things so that we also can learn from it. So his being perfect or being taken to Bhakti Yoga to be perfect means we have to take the Bhakti Yoga to be perfect. So I saw that as instructional to us. Otherwise, the point is very, very, very valid that, this is an incarnation of Krishna himself. Incarnations don't have to be perfect. They're already perfect. But then their activity sometimes is instructive to us also. Another point about Vyasadeva, how in the world can he be bewildered? But he was, according to he was not happy after he wrote the Vedas till Narada Muni came and says, well, talk about the glories of Krishna. This is still the same Vyasadeva. So he also went through some situations to have us see the importance of the commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, which is Srimad Bhagavatam, and what he had to do before he wrote that. So actually, I see it as coming as lessons for us to learn also, because he was perfect, just like Arjuna or Yudhishthira. They all knew that Arjuna went through literally making arguments in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, all material things about why he shouldn't fight. But a pure devotee knows they have to serve Krishna. So these things are for us. That's how it's coming to me. Hare Krishna. Okay.
Yes, also while you were talking, I was thinking that Vyasadeva also wanted to show us by example that we need to take guidance from a bona fide spiritual master, like he did.
Absolutely. So the spiritual master came, Narada Muni, and that is also instructing us that yes, Diksha Guru is important, Shiksha Guru is important. Take instructions and also get initiated by the spiritual master. Spiritual master represents Krishna, and so through his activities, it's like you said, to saw the connection between the spiritual master and disciple, even though Narada Muni, Shakti, Avatar, but they were acting basically to teach us. Yeah, just like you said. Hare Krishna. Very important points, very important realizations. Hare Krishna. Anyone else who wants to speak?
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisance. It's always a
Yeah,
Prabhupada. Actually, I was really thinking when Mother Gita mentioned about, she had a realization that Srila Vyasadeva point about taking shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. And I was thinking how, that and showing the example of taking shelter of a spiritual master, how Krishna also took shelter of, his spiritual master. Lord Ram had a spiritual master. It's like they are giving, and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a spiritual master.
Krishna had a spiritual master, Sanipan Muni.
Yeah, so it's like we have so many examples of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, over and over again, showing the example, setting the example, I think is the word, that it's important that we have a spiritual master in our life. So I was thinking about that when Mother Geeta was sharing her point. So thank you, Mother Geeta, for actually alluding that important point. That was important. And my other takeaway was Prabhupada really stressed a lot about anarthas in this lecture. A good part of it was anarthas.
Yes.
Quite a bit. And what I thought about is that, and I think somewhere towards the 2/3 down the way of the lecture, I was thinking, wow, so to the degree that we are attached to our identification, to that degree, we have anarthas. I was just having that realization, that, so, to the degree that we are identifying ourselves as this and that and all this whatever, to that degree, our anarthas are so deep rooted. So, and then Srila Prabhupada concluded saying that, he was saying how these Western devotees, boys and girls are taking to Krishna consciousness. Then I had another thought like, wow, so what Srila Prabhupada is saying is, in order to be detached from all our identification, our race, our background, our caste, our tribal caste, and what have you, is to engage more in Krishna consciousness and to engage more in devotional service so that we can come away from the identification, which is really tying us down to our anarthas. I was just thinking how much, the attachment to our identification is directly related to the deep rootedness of our anarthas. That's what I got from Prabhupada's, one of the points from Prabhupada.
Very, very good point.
Thank you.
Very, very, very good point. And anarthas are very deep. I was reading Harinam Chintamani, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and he made a point about anarthas, defined it, and made a point that really blew my mind. And that's after reading that, I had to use that to preach in Philadelphia Zoom. But I was very surprised. One of the anarthas Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentioned that we need to stay away from is the anarthas of wanting to go to the heavenly planet in the next life. Now, you just think about that. Wanting to go to the heavenly planet in the next life is an anartha. But now what a religion is doing, exactly what they want to do. They want to go to heaven. They are here on earth. They want to go to heaven in the next life. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says it's an unwanted desire. Then a hippie, yes, it's an unwanted desire because who wants to go to another place that's in prison, another part of the material world? That means we're still staying in the material world. We are in prison and we want to go to another location in prison. The life is a little easier there, but there's still the problems. So aspiring to go to the heavenly planet is actually an unwanted desire for the body. It's an anartha. Therefore, Krishna says, abandon all varieties of religion then, because they're all telling you to go to a higher material planet for more suffering, longer suffering, because the length of time is long, but then the problems are also there. Maybe not as frequent as the ones in the medium planet that we're in, or even for that matter, the hellish planet, they suffer even more. But it's all suffering. You haven't gotten out of there. Take another body, and the body causes problems. So the anarthas are very important that we be aware of them, to identify them and stay away from them. So very, very important. Any other comments? Okay, so there's some takeaways that I wanted to add also. In the beginning, Srila Prabhupada was saying that scientists are trying to find the original source of life. And this is what we're talking about. Scientists, they can't do that because they're surrounded by anarthas or maya. So without, another point, without resorting to or living life of Bhakti Yoga, you can't make your life perfect. And without Bhakti Yoga, you cannot write good books, good spiritual books. Material books, forget those. They don't, that's all for temporary life. So only those who are advanced in Vedic knowledge and taken to Bhakti Yoga, they can write books that make a difference. Just like Narada Muni asked Srila Vyasadeva to write so that people will understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Very, 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 very important. So we got to clean up. Clean the mind. And he also mentioned the importance of coming to the temple. He says, when we see the deity in the temple, the deity's image will be fixed in our minds. And how important that is, especially when we're chanting and thinking and we have the deity's image in our mind. That's very powerful. So, and then he mentioned how Krishna is a controller, has so many types of potencies and so many creations, material and spiritual, and he has to manage everything. So he's a supreme controller. And then it says, Srimati Radharani is Yogamaya. And Durga, which is an expansion of Srimati Radharani, that's Mahamaya. So Vyasadeva saw Mahamaya, the material energy Maya, which is covering the living entities. And that's why we are now being caused to identify ourselves with so many titles in the material energy. National type titles, I'm American, I'm Indian, I'm this, that, and then other types of classes, titles, classes, brahmachari, sannyasi, and it goes on. It says, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I'm not any of those. I'm just a servant of a servant of a servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's servants. So if we create different impressions, that's what we're going to get. We create impression of a dog, we're going to get the body of a dog. We can create impression of a demigod, we can go to a heavenly planet. But we create the situation of being a servant of Krishna, then we go to Krishna's abode. So there were so many, this is some of the things that I was, that made a note of. But of course, using material things, we said that earlier. Using material things, they are all Krishna's energy, so they should be used for service to Krishna. So the motor car goes faster, yes, so use it for Krishna. Like that. Yukta Vairagya. And then he said, special talents that we have, and this is for everyone. We should use our special talents for Krishna. All these things are from Krishna's energy, so we use it for Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay. Any last additions, questions, takeaways before we end? It's the top of the hour now. If not, then thank you, devotees, for again getting on Zoom to hear very, very enlightening information that definitely has a big bearing on our lives, and then had a nice discussion about it too. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhascha kripa sundibhya evacha Ritanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai. Vedanta Kuti Vaishnavinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So have a nice rest of the week. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Glory to Prabhupada.